liquid courage sip.
Hey, Yaz.
ASMR. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Hey.
So we've made it.
We've made it.
I want to do a booty pop right now. I'm so excited.
Yeah, same. So welcome. First episode of our potty.
Welcome.
What are we called?
Technically savvy. Nah, jokes. Jokes.
Technologically savvy.
Technically therapy.
Technically therapy. That's it. That's us. So where the conversations may not be clinical, but they're going to be therapeutic.
They will be. We know what we're talking about when it comes to all sorts of fuck ups.
There's been a few lives lived, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Quite a few lives between the two of us. So let's hope we do it justice.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern, I think, starting something new. But I'm really excited.
Yeah. And in the hopes of being able to inspire and help in some way if people can relate to the things that we've gone through.
100%. I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway, and I hope that's what we deliver because there's a lot of noise in this space.
Yes.
And I don't just want to be another one.
Nah, you won't be.
No.
You walk into a room and you're never just another one. Everyone's just like, who's that girl?
She's an icon. Oh, God.
I just have to say first that you look absolutely stunning.
Don't.
I love
you
the
so
hair,
much. I
hair
tried my
part.
best.
Skin looks stunning.
Just a couple of millennials out here trying our absolute best.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes.
Cheers, baby.
Let's kick off. Cheers, babe.
Yeah. I love watching those videos.
ASMR. They're my favourite.
ASMR.
I can never say it.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Yeah, you got it.
I'll never remember that, babe.
No. We'll keep repetition. That's how we learn.
Okay.
We'll get there. All right, so let's kick off. This is our intro, yeah? So who are we?
Who are we?
What are we about?
Yeah.
So who are you, Nova?
Who am I? It's very, very, I could go all sorts. Multifaceted would be the first one.
I see that.
I am a business owner.
You are?
It doesn't define me. I try not to make that define me. I am a mum of two. That's probably my favourite title. And I am Nova Jane. Jane is my middle name. I do not like to use my last name.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. And where are you from?
I was born in Brisbane, but I would call Adelaide my home.
Okay.
What about you, my honey?
We're just like, that's one thing we'll just quickly preface, that we are learning a lot about each other.
Still.
Yeah. Even though we've been friends for 3 years now. So this is going to be a nice way to uncover and discover one another throughout this process as well, which I'm really keen on.
Yeah.
But who am I? I always find these types of questions really challenging to answer because, as you say, it's hard to not, you don't identify as the business owner. Yep. That's what you do. It's not who you are. It's just how you go about your day-to-day life. And I feel like I've lived so many different lives and careers that it's really hard for me to narrow down who it is that I actually am.
And you have just stepped into a new era. So this
is a very
hard question to answer at the moment.
Big new era for me in my personal life. So I'm definitely juggling a lot of things at the moment. So just to not get off topic or, go on a tangent like I normally would.
Don't try and divert from the question.
Yeah, fair.
Like it, okay? Let's stick to it.
Stick to the questions, Yasmin. Who am I? I just find that so hard to answer. Okay, so what do I do? I'm a makeup artist, which is one of my biggest passions. I love it to my core. I couldn't do it full time because it is quite a exhausting, I guess, career, just with the early mornings, the busy schedules. It's very seasonal, weddings, all that. Anyway, going off topic. So I'm a makeup artist. I have recently just finished up as a fitness coach as well. I was working I've worked for quite a few gyms in my past, and I'm now currently working in NDI support, which I absolutely adore. It is the best. I have the best clients. So yeah, I would just say I'm just a gal, dude. Just a gal out here.
On the Gold Coast.
A gal on the Gold Coast, not from the Gold Coast. I'm from Emerald, Central Queensland. Shout out. Shout out to I think it's Midwest. So shout out to my small town country folk. We see you. We're here with you. I'm just going to represent that. But yeah, so Emerald / Mackay, the two places I grew up in and spent most of my childhood, they really shaped who I am now for sure.
I feel like when I meet people out from the country, there's a lot more personality that comes from those people for some reason.
I feel like you just have the freedom to be more like that.
You have
'Cause
an
in this-
imagination.
Yeah, but in the cities, like, and you know,
Yeah.
everyone, it's just so fast paced and everyone's so up their own ass. Like, I feel like in the country, yeah, you definitely do get the opportunity to have that freedom. But yeah, like you say, the imagination. Like, I grew up with what did I grow up with?
Emeralds.
Nothing.
Rocks.
Pretty much nothing. A couple of cousins.
I'm imagining the desert. I've never been there.
Oh, look, you're not far off.
Okay.
It's pretty barren. It's like a mining,
Yeah.
but also like weirdly enough, I remember my younger years. Oh my grandmother was dating this American gentleman.
My grandmother was
My grandma was dating. She's dated. Grandma was dating. Richard Hampton was his name, and I'll never forget it. And we used to go out to their property, and it was the littest time of my childhood. He had cows and motorbikes, and they'd go out and slaughter pigs. And there's like a photo. I remember there's a photo of me and my cousins. There's this big pig just hanging off a chain, like being quartered off, and we're like,
We'll bring that photo up. Hopefully,
We'll
when we
find that
get
photo for
technically
you.
Savvy.
We'll find that photo.
Technically savvy.
But yeah, like you say, we're totally off topic here, and we're just fully going down a fucking as we do. Guys,
Butterflies.
Nova and I are probably the worst two people to put into a room together because we just like.
But we're able to keep up with each other.
We are.
Every single time.
No, we actually are, which
Yeah.
is why it works, right? Which is why our friendship has flourished. Anyway, what was the question?
Who are you?
I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I know my values. I know my morals. I know like who I am in that way. But when someone asks me who am I, like I don't even know how to answer it. I'm just like just a millennial gal, just trying to survive, dude. In this economy, life's hard.
Do we want to reveal our age?
Oh,
I'm happy to. I
Okay,
always
yeah, we
do.
can do that. Let's reveal one's birth year. Say it at the same time. No,
87.
No, 89. I'm an 89er. So yeah, I'm 36. I just turned 36.
I'm
Jesus.
38.
You know, and we don't look a day over 21. Bless.
No, absolutely not.
Bless up to the
thank you.
Botox.
Yeah, thanks, Botox.
Bless up to the Botox. What is Setons? I don't know how to say it. I never say it right. Setons Clinic. That's where I go.
Oh, that was a name drop.
Yeah.
We're not even getting
Shout out,
sponsored by
guys.
this.
Sponsor us.
Mine is Empire Dolls by Taylor. She's amazing.
So whoever sponsors first, thank you. Like,
Yeah, guys.
we'll send more business there.
Yeah, we'll
sure.
send them this podcast and then they can sponsor us.
Put it on your socials.
Thank you.
Turn it into a reel. Do whatever you've got to do to make this work for us. So we don't. Yeah, I'm not going to even say it. All right. What was a few other things we wanted to know about one another? I'm going to just consult with my phone.
Also, when one is talking, then we can drink, I think, because the camera's on that person.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. See, I just sniffed. I've been holding off.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, same. My pits are very moist.
How
would you describe yourself in 3 words? See, again, these stress me out. Okay, so Nova Jane. Describe yourself to me in 3 words.
Chaotic. I know for a fact that anyone that has worked with me in my business will stand up at my funeral and say, we love her, but she is chaotic. So that is for sure. Chaotic. I'm loyal. My loyalty is
Tick.
it's to my detriment a lot of the time. And the other one would have to be, what did I say before?
Unreachable, baby.
Oh, yeah, I'm unreachable.
You actually are, and it kind of stresses me out sometimes, but then I just have to take a deep breath and be like, she's probably busy. It's not that she hates me, no.
I'm really bad with my phone because it just goes off constantly. So it's
fair.
not like it goes off and then I'm like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, what am I doing right now? Kids are going crazy. The house is a mess. Emails are going off, blah, blah, blah. I'll come back to that. Yeah, or sometimes I'll see a message come down and I'll half read it and know what it says and then I miss out a whole... Anyway, that's me. What about you?
3 words for me. Energetic. Duh. Energetic. Really unfiltered. Like whatever comes out of my mouth, generally there's not been much time from when it's passed through the neural pathway from the brain to the mouth. And I mean, I don't hate it, but it does get me into trouble sometimes.
That's why we're here. It's going to be saucy. This is just going to touch
This
on
is just a
everything.
little taste because I'm a massive
the
oversharer
plan.
and it's massive oversharer. Like
So am I.
I'm trying to work on that.
No.
So that's 2. What would my third one be to describe myself?
I feel like you're very community.
I'm a people's person for sure.
Mm.
Like, yeah, absolutely. I love the people.
Yeah. You know a lot of people.
It's reflective in the careers that I choose. Like, I'm very much like about people. I love them.
Yep.
Just I end up loving the wrong ones a lot.
Yeah, as we do.
So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think that would, definitely community based. But I feel like I'm fiercely loyal too, and it has been to my detriment as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be how I describe myself as well.
I agree with all of that.
Sweet, sweet soul sister. Okay. What made us want to start this podcast? And how did we start it, actually? This has got 2 parts.
Should I go with the how we start?
Yeah.
And then what made us?
Yeah.
Then you go with what made us. Okay, so how we started the podcast. I was having a very high functioning day, and I have these probably about 5 days out of a month, I would say. Mm-hmm. And I was packing orders and I was thinking, I'm not doing enough. What more can I do? And I felt very lonely all the time in the warehouse packing orders. And I'm like, I'm sick of this isolating feeling in business. Over it. Where is my joy? Everything is just work, work, work. Yes. Do you want to start a podcast?
Fair.
That's what it was.
That is, it was that for you. And then on the back end of that, how this came about for me, obviously you were the instigator and like the driving force behind starting it. But I've always wanted to. So I've had the idea. I had like a list in my phone for years, and I'm that girl. I'm so like, almost too safe in the things that I do because I have to be certain before I do them.
Yeah.
So that stops me in a lot of ways for like living fully or like committing to things because I'm always like, oh, I don't know. It stems from my childhood trauma. We'll get to that. But I feel like, yeah, I was really wanting to do something like this. It's always been in the back of my mind. But it's always one of those things too where you're like, oh, I'm too busy or I've got too much on. And I'd already approached 2 friends over, say, the last 5 years to be like, oh, do you want to do a podcast? Like, it'd be so fun. And no one ever really took me seriously or was like, yes, let's do it. And then I remember the day specifically.
Same.
Like, I was literally reversing in to get my nails done.
Oh.
And you rang me and I was like, fuck, Novs must like, she must have some free time. I
I'm
better
a texter because
I better take the opportunity while I've got a fucking moment with her. Hey baby, what's up? What's up with it? And yeah, you were like, hey, I've got this crazy idea. And I was like, well, I don't know if much is crazy that comes out of either of our mouths, but like, let's give it a red hot fucking crack, sis. And you were like, yeah, I've got a crazy idea and I really want you to be a part of it. Do you want to be in a podcast together? And I was like, universe, what is up? Thank you. Because I feel like I was waiting for the invitation because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I wait for the fucking invitation. And you gave it to me like on a silver platter. And then I was just about to leave for my trip to Europe with my grandmother. And we were like, let's start discussing it. While I'm away, we'll start like thinking about names and everything else. But I feel like once that trip was over for me, I came back in such a different headspace and then we just went 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like we did a branding shoot just off the back of our, like we were literally like, you had a studio for what? For Fit Cover? For
for Fit
like
Cover
a couple of
and
hours and G-Banger. And then I was like, Pinterest. Like, well, how do we want to represent ourselves? And like, yeah, we came up with the name and all that prior to it.
Yeah.
And I'd always loved that play on therapy because when girls get together, like what is it? It's girl therapy, right?
Yeah, and every time we get together and catch up, like there should be a mic.
Oh.
Like it's always a good conversation and there's a lot of learnings in what we talk about as well. But it's just not shared.
No, absolutely. I feel like there's you're in such a space where you've done a lot of like growth and personal development and you've worked on yourself a lot. And I'm like, to be fair, I have too. But I definitely feel like you've just got that little bit more of an edge.
Oh, really?
Than I do, yeah. And I'm such a like...
I feel like I'm
You feel like you're a mess? Everyone does though. I feel like everyone does.
Yeah. I'm very hard on myself. That is one thing. Like,
Same.
And you'll probably hear it and have to pull me up on it. I can be very hard on myself. I never feel like I'm doing enough.
Yeah, I'm the same, babe. Maybe it's a fire sign thing.
Yeah.
Aries and Leo in the building.
ADHD,
ADHD, fire, childhood trauma. Just throw it all at us. But yeah, so what made us want to start the podcast? I think we were both just looking for something else, right? As you say, you were like, there's got to be more.
Yeah.
I'm not busy enough. And I've always felt like that I need to connect with people. Like it's just, I feed off it. Sorry, that didn't translate. Like it gives me energy and life. Like, and I just love people. So I feel like, what a better way to just, I mean, everyone on the Gold Coast is doing a podcast nowadays, but I think, you know.
The other thing for me is that because I moved from Brisbane to Adelaide and then Adelaide to the Gold Coast, I've managed to not bother rehashing my life with people. So a lot of like my close friends in the Gold Coast especially don't even know any of the wild things. And for me, I don't think that they're very wild. But when someone finally hears about it and I see the reaction and they literally would say, why aren't you talking about this? Yeah. Then in my mind, I walk away and I'm like, oh, but why am I not talking about this? Like this could help like so many people in a positive way. Like, yeah. So I just thought podcasts would be the best and fastest way for us to be able to get those things out to people, because whenever you go through any errors or trial and error in life or anything, relationships, obstacles, having a mum, giving birth, all this sort of stuff, people can relate and feel like they are the same, which is a good feeling because a lot of the time we all compare ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
So I think that this is my hope, and I think this is yours as well, is if we can just give back in some way from our lessons and learnings. I have plenty in business and relationships, and you have so many. I can't wait to hear all your stuff as well, the things that I don't know.
Yeah, they're coming.
It's going to add some value for sure. Oh,
for sure. And we're both in such different, we're not in different stages. We've just done our timeline differently. So like you were a young mummy, you're an entrepreneur, like you're an absolute boss babe, and I'm so in awe and I have so much admiration and love for you and how you just show up, and even just how you show up for me. Like I take everyone off face value, and you have never not shown up for me, and that's just one of the many things that I love about you. Like I could call you tomorrow and be like, bitch, there's something in the trunk, and you wouldn't even question me.
No,
I wouldn't. Where do you need me? Do you need me to drive? Like I know that sounds cliche, but it's like you are that friend.
Yeah.
And I hope that like other people get to experience the friendship that we have with one another because of how you show up for me.
Yeah.
But we're just in different stages in the way of like you're in your mummy's own. Like obviously you're very busy with your businesses. I'm so not. I'm busy in other ways. I'm like all over the fucking place. Like I just got back from Vegas. I just went to Bali. I'm going to Bali again in 2 weeks for work. Like I'm also a little bit chaotic, but I don't have the stresses of home life because I'm not a mummy and I don't have people relying on me. So I kind of have that freedom and flexibility to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to Bali.
But it's cool because like I live through you, but I also am sitting here comfortably just waiting for you to land in my world.
And I'm
me
so
just be like, I'm so gonna just catch you and you're gonna be totally fine.
I'm so excited for that time in my life too. And I'm excited to have people like yourself, and I've got some amazing girlfriends in my corner that are mummies already. And I just know that like when I'm in the trenches of it, God willing that I am able to have children and, you know, I get to have that experience. When I'm in the trenches, like I know I can lean on like all of the beautiful people I have around me to guide me through it. Because I don't have any family here, like in the Gold Coast. I've got, you know, like an uncle and auntie, but they're in like Kingscliff and, you know, like we're close, but not that close that I could be like drop off a newborn, you know what I mean? Or be like, hey, I just need an hour. Can you help, you know?
It's completely different when you have kids and you don't have that support. I've never, ever had that support.
Yeah. And
I didn't even have the support from the dad, like no support at all. And it's such a different experience because I see people with that support and I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Like,
how lucky.
God, grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful.
How lucky.
Yeah.
Because it does. They say it takes a village, but like that's not a joke.
It's not.
Like you need all your people, like even just to have a shower. I've seen it. And sometimes I feel like a shit friend because I've seen, or like I know that some of my friends are in those trenches, but life is lifing and I'm just like, shit, queen, I can't get to you right now. And you feel like an absolute piece of shit because you know how hard it is. And I've seen it. Like, I come from a single parent household. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen my mum struggle. I've seen it all firsthand. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
So I have so much respect for you in the way that you show up. When you're even unreachable, you still will get back to me at some time.
I do.
At some point in time.
Do you know what happens? It stamps in my mind and it's like I just can't get it off my to-do list because I know it's there and I know that someone like has messaged me. It could go a week and I'll still know that I need to get back to that person. It just is on my to-do list.
Yeah, but it just gets down. Well, I hope we answered that particular question about the potty without going on too much.
Just to make you feel better, I have.
Don't make me. You're
No.
going to make me sick. If
No,
I see
wait.
we're so different in that regard.
311 unread messages in
Oh, that makes me want to puke. You know what? Let's check mine. Daddy's got nothing. Not a single notification.
You've got none on there.
Nah,
I've got lots.
I'm on the pulse, man. I am on the pulse. If you text me, I'm going to text right back. I'm an
am
adult. My phone's in my hand 24/7.
It's priorities. And it's my priorities are put in the wrong way. Because I do genuinely value friendships and connections so much and I crave it a lot. But I think because I've placed myself in this like fight or flight situation of business, I've gone to put my businesses in front of everything.
Yeah, but that's your income. That's your means to live. That is a
yes.
survival tactic.
Yes.
Like, you need to have that.
But a business is like a boyfriend.
Yeah,
They
fair.
come and go. And if that business, if I sell it or if whatever happens and I don't have Fit Cover anymore, my friends are always going to be there who I have poured my energy into.
Yeah.
So I have gotten so much better. I think when the kids were in nappies and I was going through court and all of that sort of stuff, like I just couldn't give my energy to anyone. And I didn't even want anyone to have my energy because it wasn't the best that I was like feeling. So there's a bit of that plays in it as well. Like I can only give what I've got. The boys take a lot from me, which they deserve. The company does, my team does. And then I try and give myself some time and I couldn't even have space for a partner.
Yeah, you're at capacity,
recently.
babe.
Yeah.
And if your friends are true friends, they're going to know that, recognize that and appreciate that. Like I'll send a message, one of my beautiful friends, Antonia, bless, shout out Antonia. She has taught me so much in the way of like, if you're at capacity, you do not have to give. Like I'll message her and she'll message me a week later, but I don't take offense. Because I know she'll get to me when she gets to me. If it's something urgent, absolutely. If I call her, sure.
Yeah.
But if I'm just sending a message and being like, hey, baby, how you going?
Yeah.
Bitch, you don't have to reply.
Yeah. And I think that
You have to reply to me.
I will. Yeah, I do. But when my friends get my time, I give everything to that. Like if we schedule a catch up, like
you're
that's
very
like
present.
It's in my calendar. That's a slot that's you get to have.
I love the Google Calendar invites from you.
Yes.
You are very present.
And I met a guy that puts Google Calendar invites in
Shout
my
out
calendar.
to Nova's man. Yes. Pop off king. Oh, yuck.
good.
Sorry, I hate saying that. Pop off king. It's so gross.
Oh.
Yeah, so honestly, in a nutshell, we started the podcast together because we're just fucking in love with one another. And it's like, why not?
There's some good stories.
There's so
it
much
shouldn't
that
be
we're going to
hidden.
bring. And I just feel like what a better person to do it with than my lesbian lover. We're not lesbians. Where did we grow up and how did we think it shaped who we are now?
Let's go.
Yeah, so okay, let's touch on
Can
that.
I need some wine for the growing up part.
Daddy's gonna hang on. Let me don't spill it on the carpet.
It's Friday.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah, thank you, babes.
Let's do a little cheeky top up, like far out. That went down a little bit too easy. It's giving me flashbacks of Paloma Wine Bar a few Sundays ago.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Ooh, right, that's going in the back of the memory bank. But yes, let's go with this particular question. So where did we grow up and how do we think it shaped who we are now? So Novs, where did you grow up and how do you think it shaped who you are now?
Oh, anxiety. I can't sing, but if that was the best I could do.
Yeah, stunning.
Okay,
Cheers
where
to
did
growing
I go? My upbringing probably still plays too much of a part in my life, and I am working on it to become one with it and to love it. And I'm very close to. I do appreciate it.
Yep.
So if anyone is from North Brisbane, then when I say Bracken Ridge, I know what reaction I'm going to get. But I came from a Darrow town of Brisbane, which is called
Low
Bracken Ridge.
socioeconomic sort of vibes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what word to call it really. Darrow maybe. I don't even know what Darrow completely means, but it kind of sounded like it fitted.
Should we Google it?
But we were in Housing Commission, and it was a really, really hard life for my mum and for us, for sure. We grew up in a abusive household. My dad was very abusive, and I love him absolutely dearly. I've just gotten to know him for the last 3 years, and I totally understand why he was the way that he was, and I love him for it. So I was brought up in Brisbane, and some gift that I was given, I don't know how, but someone was looking down on me and just wanting to protect me, and was constantly giving me this feeling of I'm not in the right place. And actually, now that I've said this, I actually think it was my ADHD. Because when you've got ADHD, you never completely feel like you're in the right place. You feel a little bit out all the time. And I always felt that, but in my mind, I was like, there has to be something better. And so when I was growing up, I just knew that this wasn't going to be for me forever. And I knew that there was something big for me, like waiting. I just had this certain feeling. So was that the question? Where did I grow up? Bracken Ridge?
Yeah, and how do you think it shaped you?
How did it shape me? It shaped me in many, many ways. So I'm a twin sister. I have a twin who is 2 minutes older than me, and we are fraternal. So we look nothing alike, and we're very, very different people.
Yeah.
And I love her. She's very, very funny. When I was younger, I used to only speak through to her to speak for me. I would never speak to people. So for me to even be talking on social media, to be an oversharer or on a podcast is a humongous leap from where I kind of was when I was younger. It got that bad that the school separated us and kept me back a grade and put my sister into the next grade that we were meant to go in. And so I was always a year under her. So then no one ever believed I had a twin. My twin was best friends with my older sister. They always fought over boys and all that sort of stuff. I was the sporty one, never really dated, never was really into boys and all that sort of stuff. So it was a very kind of I'm one of 7 girls, but it was a very isolating kind of upbringing because I never was really close with any of my sisters. So my community and relationships were already kind of hard to handle back then. And how it's shaped me now is the reason why I've been able to run my businesses solely on my own still, probably at my detriment. I need to now learn how to bring in more, and that's a weird struggle that I have. But
you mean in the way of delegation and letting go a little bit?
But you've got to build relationships in business. You've got to have a team that that they can rely on you and all of this sort of stuff.
You can rely on them to run your business.
You have to master those abilities when you have a business, and if you want friends and if you want a community and family and all that sort of stuff, you've got to know how to do that. Yep. And for me, it's a bit of a struggle. I'm not the best at it. I don't really know how to keep up with everyone, and I feel like I'm always letting people down because I don't know really how to show up constantly. But my small friends, I do. I'm
your
always there,
group,
what you had said.
But from the outside looking in, you would never know that about you.
No.
You know, you would never, what did we say today? We were talking about the duck on the lake or whatever, and it's paddling for dear life, just being Jesus Christ, but on the top, it's so composed. And just... everything is fine.
Yeah. And I know that because I met somebody, I'm just diverting a little bit, but I had a meeting in my
standard.
I had a meeting with a guy in my company, and we were chatting, and it was for ages, and then right at the end, he mentioned somewhere in Brisbane. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from Bracken Ridge. He's like, what?
Yeah.
He was absolutely shocked, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, I thought you were this rich daddy's girl, money, you've got fit cover from that. And I was like, are you kidding me?
You're like, I'm from the slums.
I'm like, that's what I give. Am I giving that? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you wanted to show up, right?
Yeah.
That's the end. Oh, I just hit the microphone. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, that's how you wanted to show up, right?
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. So I, now long story, cutting it short, I'm left home at about 14. My dad, child welfare came and took us out of school. escorted us home. We had to leave. Dad was arrested and we got put in we got put on the streets pretty much. So we had no home for ages and we had to move into my best friend's house who was already at capacity with bedrooms and beds because they had a big family, but we had nowhere else to go until we got housing commission, which took a while. And then pretty much we didn't have the fear of Dad around, so we ran rings around Mum. She was already dead silent in her brain because she missed Dad and wanted to be with him, and so we just were on the streets pretty much. So I ended up in an abandoned house, homeless, from 14 until about 16 and a half, and then Women's Housing came and picked me up and sheltered
this
me.
is heavy, man. I feel like I'm going to cry for you. Like, I just want to take that little 14-year-old and give her a cuddle.
And then put me in a, like Centrelink would pay for my rent in this place.
Of course.
And then my twin slowly followed. I don't know where she came from because I didn't know where she was. And then, turned 18, got a bar job, and then the rest was history. I started to make money, and then I was like, cool, I'm booking a ticket overseas, and then that was it. So that's my childhood in a very
to
crammed,
adulthood. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Jeez, that we'll touch
There's
more
a lot
on
in
that
it, but
as
that's
we
that.
yeah, absolutely. And it's like, so when it comes to my side of the story, I feel like there's a lot of similarities with our upbringings, and that's why we probably connect. Not in like a sick trauma bond kind of way, more in just like we respect the hustle and the struggle and where you've come from and the life you've lived.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I've obviously mentioned I'm from Emerald. I spent birth to primary school, the end of primary school in Emerald, and then we moved to Mackay. My mum decided she wanted something different. My years in Emerald were like glorious.
Oh, nice.
Glorious, because I had my nan, just my grandmother. I say nan, grandmother, whatever. I call her nanny. Around the corner, Barbara Ann. Shout out Barbara Ann. Fuck, I love that woman. And I spent a lot of my childhood with her because my mum was so young. So
If you want to put a face to the name, go on Yaz's TikTok and watch
Barbara.
the European trip. It was amazing.
Daily vlogs
amazing.
with Barbs.
Yeah.
Look, she's an absolute soldier. Obviously had her own trauma, which therefore led to your children experiencing certain amounts of trauma as well. So like, there's only so much I can hold my mum accountable for the way that I was brought up, because yes, she did fuck up a lot, but she was a 19-year-old girl. Like,
19, babe.
She was a baby,
Wow.
dude. She was a baby raising a baby. So, and obviously there's a lot of addiction in my family on both sides. So I don't speak to my biological father at all. I haven't since I was 21. I'm 36.
Wow.
But I didn't have anything to do with him prior to that anyway. It was like random, like every now and again. So yeah, if you want some daddy trauma, come right over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We both got it.
Still learning.
Yeah, still trying to figure that one out. Shout out to everyone who has a dad. What's it like sitting around a dinner table with everyone there having a meal? I'm not jealous at all. No, honestly, I think those, like you say, what you've gone through, and it's shaped you to be who you are, right? So similar in the sense that I come from a family of addiction on both sides. My mum is an incredible woman, incredible, bless her heart, like heart of gold, absolutely. Give you the shirt off her own back. When she drinks, she's just a different person, and I can't be around it. So I've had to distance myself quite a lot. But my childhood years were spent in Emerald and then in Mackay. As soon as I graduated high school, I moved to Sydney, western suburbs. I lived in Glenbrook in the Blue Mountains for a little while, and then I ended up in Penrith for a few years. Then I came back to Mackay, then I moved to Brisbane, then I moved to London, then I moved back to Brisbane, then I moved to the Gold Coast, then I moved to London, then I moved to the south of France.
All of these going away parties that she would have
So many
called.
going away parties because I love to be celebrated. So then after the south of France, came back to the Gold Coast to settle, and I'm feeling like this is where I'm meant to be now, and I don't want to leave. Shout out to my ex for taking me to London, to England, and then to the south of France. Like, deuces. A really good time. But I think my childhood, I've literally gone so off track with that. But yeah, my childhood shaped me in the way that I'm very much very hyper independent. Yeah. Extremely resilient in the sense that it's like I'll just make it work, right? I'll just get it done. Like, so, and that kind of has been to my detriment as well, because I never ask for help. You probably catch me, I just won't.
Yeah.
I will not ask for help.
The feeling of getting help, which that's what's happening in my relationship.
It's fucking sickening.
Yeah.
It makes me squeamish.
Yes, I still feel
Don't
it.
open the door for me. I can do it myself.
Yeah,
like
but I'm leaning into it, you know? And yeah, it's
I'm learning that.
but I think it was needed in the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you definitely needed it.
shuffling, I've needed all the experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. Like I actually have. I've needed all of them, and I'm grateful for all of them, and they have definitely made me who I am today. I also moved out of home at 16. My mum was moving to a place out near Caboolture. So you want to talk about?
I know Caboolture.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about mothers? So I was like, oh no, I'm not going there. A place called Blackbutt.
Smart move.
Yeah, Blackbutt is where she was because my nan was there and she had a property. So that's where mum went for safety, right? Sanctuary, safety, whatever. And so I ended up doing my final year of high school as a ward of the state, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was like an independent
Yeah,
and I
so
lived freely.
If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's Centrelink. So your parents sign you over to Centrelink. So for me, that happened at 14. For Yaz, that happened when she was 16. So you get paid by Centrelink, but you do have to meet some requirements. I don't know if you had to, but for me, I had to go to school and you couldn't miss 5 days consecutively. Otherwise, you'd get fined $5,000.
I don't recall ever having like a fine, but I remember one of the things I had to do every Thursday was to see a guidance counsellor. She'd give me food stamps pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
She'd give me vouchers. So that would be like for food or for cleaning products or for whatever. And I had a lot of teachers around me that were really supportive.
Yes, teachers were the best.
Teachers, Mr. Brandon, my
Mr.
PE
T.
teacher. Like, dude, there's like teachers, I like take my hat off. You guys have a friggin' hard job, but you do it so well. And honestly, the impact that you can have on a child. My history teacher, I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she was a saint. And my dance teacher, because we had a subject at school that was dance.
Yeah, we did as well.
Yeah, so Cassie was my dance teacher, but I danced with her at school, but I also danced in her studio.
Yep.
And because I was an independent, I worked at Super Cheap Auto on the weekends, and every Thursday night I rented a townhouse for $160 a week with my boyfriend at that time. Oh, that sounds really gross. Anyway, and I used to get rent assistance, obviously, which would cover some of the rent and then obviously the income. But Cass, she, in my final year of school, because obviously I was reaching year 12 and thankfully I managed to graduate, she gave me all my dancing outside of school for nothing.
Oh, nice.
So all my, tuition was paid for. Like she just basically was like, don't worry about it. Just focus on your schooling. And then all you have to do is do the end of year concert. You have to just pay for your costumes. You don't have to worry about registering. And let me tell you, pay for those costumes I did because I worked my ass off. It was $1,000.
Yeah.
As a 16 turning 17-year-old
It's a lot of
girl,
money.
that is a lot of money. And I hustled, man. I was selling doing those fundraisers, the little chocolates. I was working it was a lot. But yeah, it has made me, back to our childhood and our upbringings, it's made me who I am today. And I can't not be grateful for that because I'm actually not a bad person and I'm pretty stoked. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I always think even looking at all my sisters, I'm like, well, it could have been worse. It definitely
you know
could
what?
have been
It could
worse.
have been. And there are a lot of people that have suffered worse. And not to invalidate anyone's experience because we've both been through it. And I mean, I hear your story and I think, holy fuck, Nova's been through so much worse. And I compare.
No.
But not in a negative way. It's just because I love you that I'm like, oh my God, I just want to cuddle her for that, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Not many
give you a
people
little
know
open
about
mouth
it.
kiss.
Not many people know about it. And I feel my body feel uncomfortable when I talk about it. And a lot of me either goes into being that person or really being separate and thinking I'm talking about someone else.
You disassociate.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Interesting. 16 and 14.
16 and
out of
14,
home.
like that's babies.
It's shaping. And you know what? And I know you'll agree with me on this. When you connect with somebody, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, you've connected with them. And when you find out about their life, they have not been wrapped as a kid and cared for until they were like 21.
Oh, the mollycoddling and
know,
the wrapping
yeah.
them up in cotton wool. And I get
Yeah.
it. As a parent, I feel like that's how I'm gonna want to protect my kids from
I'm
everything.
very overprotective, and
Like the helicopter parent.
I got called that by my partner.
I got called that by an ex who had a son that I helped raise
Yeah.
for a few years. And
He
I was
said
like,
just
shit.
70% of me is helicopter parent, and I'm like, that's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm taking
That's
those
okay.
odds. I'm
Yeah.
taking those odds.
Yeah, I would
70%
rather
isn't bad.
I had no parenting, like not that I can remember, and this is said in respect because people back then, our parents back then were in our 30s, so that generation behind us, or before us, they didn't have everything like this podcast. They didn't have podcasts to
Self-help,
relate to.
internet.
They didn't have any of that sort of stuff. Right now, like when I went through a breakup and I was dealing with a dismissive avoidant, didn't even know what that was. TikTok told me what that was.
Yeah.
And I healed in weeks, not ages, because I went down a rabbit hole learning, oh my God, it's not me. This is why he was like this. And I feel sorry for him, and I hope he gets better in a very kind way. Like I totally understood. When I can understand where someone's come from, then I can completely give love like my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I think I haven't yet reached that point. Like, oh, you know what? I feel like someone asked me not long ago how I felt about like not having a dad. And like, I mean, I have a stepdad who was transient because of his career. So it was like he was around when I was really little, and I look at him like my dad, but we've grown extremely close in my later years.
Oh, that's
so there was like
nice.
those like teenage years where I don't really recall him being around, and he was with my mum when I was really young, like I was 2. And then they separated, but we've always stayed connected. But
And
just
he would have had to make that effort because you're a kid just being a kid.
100%.
Yeah,
Like I
good
was,
on him.
and you know, as a parent too, like you encourage, my mum always encouraged my dad to, ew, that even sounds weird to say, yuck, sperm donor. She encouraged him to have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
But like, I actually have this one memory I want to share when I was like little. She would always encourage it. She never badmouthed him. She was actually really good in that regard, because some parents are pretty toxic and can be quite nasty. Like I think it's disgusting to talk poorly about.
Yeah, we
the
will
parent.
dive into that.
We will absolutely dive into that. But there was a memory, and I didn't want to go with him this one day because I would see him very sporadically. But when I did, he would like take me somewhere, like lunch or whatever, or God forbid you took me school shopping and bought me some uniforms. Woo, you know, like really lash out there. Lash out, splash out, whatever. And I remember laying in my bed and saying to my mum, tell him I'm really sick and I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And she had to lie for me. Like props to her for like backing me in that situation and not being like, babe, you're going to have to go. It's your dad. And like she was like, okay, if you don't want to go, honey, you don't have to go. And I was like, yes. So as much as there's some trauma from our parents, like you say,
you have to love them.
You have to love them
how
through
they
it.
showed up
And
as much as they could.
They only knew what they knew at the time, and they were only like we only know the model that we're shown. I feel like that's why I've had so many failed relationships and like fucked up situations that I've been in, because we're not stupid girls. We're quite like I don't think I'm not
very.
I'm very smart.
Yeah, we can read a room.
We've had
to create safety in our environment constantly, and that is knowing what we're stepping into and understanding our surroundings very, very, very quickly.
Do you feel like you're on high alert all the time? Like, are you a scanner? I'm a scanner.
Babe.
I'll notice things that you won't even notice. Not you, but like other people in other rooms, I'm noticing.
So I don't know if people know this, but I've gone down a very, very deep rabbit hole when it comes to ADHD because...
So obviously I have it. I'm just not diagnosed or medicated yet.
I'll diagnose you. My son has ADHD, and I had to make the really hard decision whether I was going to medicate him or not.
That's hard.
So the first thing I learned, which is very interesting, it's still up in the air. There's still arguments, but there always is. There's still arguments about religion and all this sort of stuff. It's still an argument, but from my experience, from what I've spoken to with other people and from my research, you are not born with ADHD. You develop it through trauma. Mm-hmm. So you would have developed that through
100%.
And a part of that is that it's the fight or flight feeling. It's always on. That's why like I need sometimes like I have these low days of ADHDs because I get burnt out very, very rapidly monthly.
Yeah.
Because we're always just on constantly. It doesn't
on,
stop. And then when chaos isn't happening, I'm like, holy shit, I'm failing at life.
Yeah.
Nothing's
100%.
happening. And I have to remind myself, I've got self-love. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's a good day if there's no one's needing me and messaging me and needing whatever from me. Just chill. But I have to remind myself of that. And you'd be exactly the same.
Complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not the big traumatic PTSD, like life-altering, life-shattering traumatic event. It's just small traumas broken up over time.
Yeah.
Where it just kind of like chips away at your soul.
Yeah.
And then you end up being this fabulous. So like join us. Join us here, babes. It's
This
a
is
great
what I
time.
love about you. I'm like, I don't even know what you're gonna
honestly,
say.
sometimes I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. It just does.
Yeah.
And I never know if even I'm being serious or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it's good. Good.
So
I want you to rub off on me more.
best of luck to anyone trying to decipher that. So how did we meet? How did we meet, Nova?
How did we meet?
How did we meet, my
Oh,
darling?
it's a
All right, this wine's going down way too nice.
It's not what I like to admit.
It's
but
not a
I've
traditional love story,
I've definitely
guys.
spent some time there when I have been feeling a bit lost, but I gained something out of it.
Wait, let's start that again because I just fully fucking talked over you then.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, sure. Okay, right.
Pink
Sorry.
monkey.
Oh, sickening.
Pink monkey
I'm not proud of
me
it.
on camera doing plenty of things, not stupid, skanky things. I'm just drunk and silly things. Yeah. Pink
So we
monkey.
met at Pink Monkey. Would you say, has it been 3.5 years now?
About that.
Because let's be real, I've been home for 1.5 years. I was in France for 6 months. Then I was home for a 3-month window. Noves, it's been way longer.
It was
was
when
before
you first
England.
started.
It was before England.
Yes, it was when you only first started dating.
Yes, first starting dating the Anonymous.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're talking 4 years. So it's been 4 years. We met at Pink Monkey.
Yeah.
I was on a like little girls' night, like just with a friend of mine. We went to dinner and we had at Paloma, funnily enough. Shout out Paloma for getting girls drunk.
Yeah.
We decided, let's go out after a couple of vinos.
Yeah.
And
a lot of
I
my
met you.
amazing friendships have been through, because again, that's just how the socializing has been able to happen for me, because it's been a bit harder for me to socialize in any other way. So I've met some beautiful people.
A bit of liquid courage. Like it kind of helps everyone to feel a little bit, I guess, more in their feels.
Yeah.
So we did, we met at Pink Monkey about 4 years ago, and we just kind of clicked. And
There
then
was no effort. It was just
it was so effortless.
gravitating.
And then we just like did the old follow each other on social media, and then you start to respond, and then you start talking, and then you go for coffee, and then like maybe a hot girl walk, and then I met your kids, and now we live together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
You should come live with us.
I actually probably will at some point. Okay, so what's the one thing from your past that you feel like has influenced the way that you see the world now?
My biggest one is that I know I have a really good ability from looking at every situation I go through, even if it's an argument or a disagreement or I need to show up for someone because they're upset or something, anything, business, anything. I look at everything through, there's the problem, and there's so many lenses, there's so many perspectives that I can look and go into this one problem with. And I have a perfect, I think, I'm not going to say perfect, but a good amount of empathy where I can understand, like what I said about my dad. Usually people would hate someone that has done some of the things that he's done.
Yeah.
I love him because I understand where he's come from. And if I have the if I have the time, or if they give me the time to let me understand why they're treating me the way that they are, I'm not going to let it be okay, but I just have an understanding around a lot of perspectives, and I can see a lot of perspectives. I just don't see one way, so I'm not closed-minded. And I think that I got that from my childhood. I think I got that from having to work out the world really quickly, and I really learnt fast that there's so many ways to look at one story, and it's not necessarily you're lying and you're telling a different story. It's like that is your perspective, that's your understanding, and that's your truth, and I at least have to respect that. So
At the very least,
I have to respect that if you're standing there telling me that that's what happened and I was there too and I don't think it did, I still have to respect that that is how you feel. And I feel like I got that from my childhood.
That's something I feel like everyone should endeavor to have as I guess it's not really a life. Is it a life skill? It might be a life skill. But just, to be able to see the world in different ways and understand, different perspectives, but not be triggered by it.
Yeah.
That's something I'm working on because, look, I'm very much black and white. It's like a yes or no. Like,
well,
especially
no, that does come with ADHD. You
Does
need
it?
to have the dot points. You need to
Yeah.
have, okay, what am I doing? And
I'm
I deal with that in my relationship. I'm like, he told me to put the weight up or down. So I go up. He's like, no, like go up in weight, meaning going down. And I'm
like you're thinking literally, like go
literally,
up.
black
You're
and
like,
white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like
get
that in so many ways.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I'm trying to be more like that now because I admire that in you so much. Because I remember there's been conversations we've had prior to this and like in my last relationship or whatever, when we've had conversations where we're like really in the depths of like figuring shit out together, and you are so open and empathetic to everyone's version of their story. And even if it's me giving you the side that's more biased to myself, you still will see the other side of the story. Yeah. I do that, just not in if it's like my partner or like I'm like that with my friends and like my family, not so much. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So what's one thing from my past that's influenced me? Honestly, this is more negative. Yours is positive. I'm very like cynical and very like, is that really what happened? Like,
and even in my mind, I'm like, I get it. I understand. I'm sure there's a reason for that. And I love that about you.
Like that. We're like polar opposites in that sense. And I really want to get to that space because I feel like it's such a beautiful, like peaceful space to be in.
I could literally down the track do little like quick exercises on talking about one thing and then coming from those ways and making you think about all of those ways. And then it kind of comes like, oh, I would definitely choose that. It's like, oh, I can see I can see some of these sides, maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like you start to learn how you can be a bit flex.
You're just my goal, honestly. I'm just going to be more like you. If anyone wants to be more like Nova.
See, I want to be more like you and a bit more freer and like
but you guys think I'm free, but I'm
just
actually
like,
I'm so structured and regimented, and like if one thing goes wrong, I'm wigging out. Like I might come across as like a free energy and like, in that way. And I am a little bit fucking chaotic and a little bit off center, but
I love that about you.
Yeah, and I love being that for my friends and people that I love. I love giving that energy and like being like, oh fuck, it'll be fine. And don't get me wrong, if I'm in the right headspace, I can be like that.
Yeah.
But in my day-to-day life, I'm quite routine. Like I'm pretty boring, to be fair.
Yeah.
I just like shake my ass on social media every now and again just to like see what happens for the plot. Anyway, that's enough. Now that the T's and C's are done.
Yeah, the T's and C's
are done. You know a little bit.
Yep, you know who we are.
A little bit.
Yep, just a tiny, tiny bit. And there is just so much planned for these conversations. We just had to get this out of the way so that
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yep, you guys kind of got a taste of who we are. I know a lot of people from Yaz's page doesn't know who I am. A lot of people from my page don't know who Yaz is. And then there's all these new people that don't know either of us.
Yeah.
So there's just a little tiny snippet.
There's a tiny snippet and strap all the way in.
Yeah, and I felt a little bit of anxiety. So it was good because I felt a little bit uncomfortable, which I really want to constantly feel so I can lean more into it. And I think you will too.
And you're good at pushing me to get into that space. So I feel like if I say, oh, Novs, I don't like that, you're like, good, you're doing it. And I'm like, yeah. So, I feel like, we've ripped the Band-Aid off. This is the first episode done. We've shared a little bit about ourselves, which we'll dive so much more into in time. And I mean, we're open to suggestions as well. Like if people want to know if they have questions or if they want to know certain things about us, we're obviously open to that and discussing things that we're comfortable with and also uncomfortable with within reason. And thanks for coming on the journey, guys. I'm so excited. Got to stop doing that with my eyeball.
Peace, guys.
Deuces.
Bye.
Yay!